Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series on building material and construction 18CV34. Myself Professor Vijayalakshmi, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, KLS VDIT, Halaya. So let's start with the today's discussion on the second module, lecture number 15. So these are the course content covered in this lecture. So in today's lecture, introduction to D foundation, pile foundation, that is pile foundation, pier foundation and well foundation and its types and need of providing such type of foundation will be discussed. So next is the learning outcome. After this lecture, the student will have a better understanding of different types of D foundation such as pile, pier and well foundation, which is provided in the construction of different types of structures. So this falls under the Bloom's taxonomy level 1 and level 2. Next, the content covered in the previous lecture. So in this case, the previous lecture we discussed on the introduction to shallow foundation, that is spread, combined, tap footing, wrapped or the mat foundation and its type and need of providing such type of foundation. So let's start with the today's discussion on the different types of deep foundation. So deep foundations are those in which the depth of the foundation is very large in comparison to the width. Deep foundations are not constructed by ordinary method of open pit excavation. Deep foundations are of following types: pile, pier and caisson or the well foundation. So out of these, pile foundation are most commonly used in the building construction. So when under which situation the pile foundation is preferred? The load of the superstructure is heavy and it's to be distributed uneven. The topsoil has poor bearing capacity. The subsoil water level is high, so that pumping of water from the open trench for the shallow foundation is difficult and uneconomical. There is large fluctuation in subsoil water level. If deep stiff foundation is attempted, timbering of sides is difficult to maintain or retain the soil of sides of the trench. The structure is situated on the seashore or the river bed where there is a danger of soaring action of the water. Canal or the deep drainage line exists near the foundation. The topsoil is of expansive in nature. So under these conditions, pile foundation is preferred. So next is what are the different types of pile. So the use of pile as a foundation can be traced since olden times. So the art of driving the pile was well established in Roman times. Today the pile foundation is much more common than any other type of deep foundation. Modern pile driving started with the first steam pile drivers invented in 1845. Piles may be classified as follows. Classification based on the function or the use. Pile may be classified as end bearing pile, friction pile, compaction pile, tension pile or uplift pile, anchor pile, feeder pile and dolphins, batter pile and sheet pile. End bearing piles are used to transfer the load through water or soft soil to a suitable bearing stratum. So next is the friction pile. So in case of friction pile, it is used to transfer the load to a depth of a friction load carrying material by means of skin friction along the length of the pile. Compaction piles are used to compact loose granular soil, thus increasing their bearing capacity. The compaction pile themselves does not carry any load, hence may be of weaker material, sometimes of sand. The pile tube driven to compact the soil is gradually taken out and sand is filled in its place, thus forming a sand pile. So, in case of tension or uplift file, anchor down the structure subjected to uplift due to hydrostatic pressure or due to overturning movement. Anchor pile provide anchorage against horizontal pull from sheet piling or other pulling force. Feeder piles and dolphins are used to protect water from the structure against impact from ship or other floating objects. Sheet piles are commonly used or as impervious cutoff to reduce seepage and uplift under the hydrostatic structure. So classification based on the material and composition. So different types of materials can be used: concrete pile, timber pile, steel pile and composite pile. The precast concrete piles are generally used for maximum design load of 80 tons, that is 800 kilonewton, except for large pre-structured, that is pre-stressed pile. They must be reinforced to withstand handling stresses. They require space for casting and storage, more time to set and cure before installation, and heavy equipment for handling and driving. They also incur large cost in cutting for extra length or for adding more length. The cast in situ concrete piles are generally used for a maximum design load of 75 tons, that is 750 kilonewton, except for compacted pedestal piles. They are installed by pre-excavation, thus eliminating vibration. So you can see how the piles are provided in the circular fashion. So in case of cast in situ pile, they are installed by pre-excavation, thus eliminating vibration due to driving and the handling stresses. Cast in situ piles may be classified into two types: driven pile and bored pile. The variety of cast in situ piles are in use, each bearing the name of the manufacturer. So, under-rim pile is a special type of bored pile having an increased diameter or bulb at some point in its length to anchor the foundation in expansive soil subjected to alternate expansion and contraction. So in case of concrete filled steel piles or steel H piles are used as long piles with a high bearing capacity. They are rarely used unless they reach a stratum of exceptionally high supporting capacity. Since they reach a stratum, since their cost is very high. Next is the timber piles. Timber pile have small bearing capacity and are not permanent unless treated. They are prone to damage by hard driving and should not be driven through hard stratum or the boulders. Composite piles are suitable where the upper part of the pile is to project above water table. Such a pile consists of lower portion of untreated timber and an upper portion of concrete. In other type of composite pile, steel piles are attached to the lower end of cast in place concrete pile. This type of pile is used in case where the required length of pile is greater than available for cast in place type. So you can see here how the pile is driven inside, and the red color one is the pile cap. Like this the piles are inserted, you can see here. So these are the different stages: pile assembly, rotating and measuring the intensity in the rotation, measuring the rotation, torque and stop and fix. So like this it is driven inside. You can see in this case, and these are, so in case of hard compressible layer, and this is the soft compressible soil. So these are the structures which are constructed for the bridge, and these are the piles where it is used for underwater construction. So you can see the wooden piles, that is called as a timber pile, and even the metal piles, that is steel pile. So these are nothing but the precast piles or cast in situ concrete piles. Cast in situ piles are suitable in practically all ground condition. The shell is driven into intimate contact with the surrounding soil and remain in place to maintain driving resistance and protect the concrete filling during the placing of other adjacent piles and during the critical setting period. Cast piles can be easily cut or extended to meet variation in shell length. One of the main advantages is that it is subjected to internal inspection after it's driven. So you can see the load how it is applied, and the pink color is nothing but the soft sand. After that clay layer, and third layer is the rock. In this second figure you can see, so when it is driven inside, so they exert a pressure created in the second layer, that is nothing but in the layer of clay. So next is the pier foundation. So next is the pier foundation. So in case of pier foundation, it consists of cylindrical column of large diameter to support and transfer load over a large surface below. The difference between the pile foundation and the pier foundation is in the method of construction activity. So actually how it is defined? The pier foundation, it consists of a cylindrical column of large diameter to support and transfer large superimposed load to the firm strata below. Though pile foundation transfer the load through friction or bearing, pier foundation transfer the load only through bearing. Generally, pier foundation is shallower in depth than the pile foundation. Pier foundation is preferred in location where the top strata consists of decomposed rock overlying a strata of sound rock. So these are the different types of pier foundation. Pier foundation is preferred in a location where the top strata consists of decomposed rock overlying a strata of sound rock. In such a condition, it becomes difficult to drive the bearing pile through decomposed rock. In case of stiff clay, which offer large resistance to the driving of a pier pile, pier foundation can conventionally be constructed in that condition. Pier foundation are of following types: masonry or concrete pier, drill, caisson. When a good bearing stratum exists up to 5 meters below ground level, brick, masonry or concrete foundation piers in excavated pits may be used. The size and spacing of the pier depends upon the depth of hard bed, nature of overlying soil and superimposed load. The term drill caisson foundation pier or sub pier are used by the engineers to denote the cylindrical foundation. The drill caisson is largely a compressed member subjected to axial load at the top and reaction at the bottom. Drill caisson are generally drilled with the mechanical means. Drill caissons are of three types: concrete caisson with enlarged bottom, so in the figure B. Next, caisson of steel pipe with concrete filled in the pipe. Caisson of steel pipe with concrete filled in the pipe, so in the figure C. And in third case, caisson with concrete and steel core in steel pipe, in the steel pipe. So that is caisson with concrete and steel core in steel pipe. That is figure D. So next is the well foundation. So in case of well foundation, these are box-like structure, circular or rectangular, which are sunk from the surface of either land or water to the desired depth. They are much larger in diameter than the pier foundation or the drill caisson. The term caisson is derived from the French word means a chest or a box. Caisson has come to mean a box-like structure, round or rectangular, which is sunk from the surface of the either of land or water of to a desired depth. The caissons are three types: box caisson, open caisson and pneumatic caisson. So these are the different shapes of the well foundation which are provided. The common type of well shapes are shown in this figure: single circular, twin circular, dumbbell shape, double D shape, twin hexagonal, twin octagonal, and rectangular. The choice of particular shape depends on the dimensions of the base of the pier or abutment, the care and cost of the sinking, the consideration of tilt and shift during sinking, and the vertical and horizontal force to which the well is subjected. The circular well has the minimum parameter for a given area, and hence the ratio of sinking effort to skin friction is maximum. Since the perimeter is equidistant at all the points from the center of the hole, the sinking is more uniform than for other shape. However, the disadvantage of circular well is in the direction parallel to the span of the bridge. The diameter of the well is much more than the minimum size required to accommodate the bridge pier, and hence the circular well causes more obstruction to the waterway than the bridge pier does. This advantage is avoided in the case of double D shape, which conforms to the shape of bridge pier in plan. So the area is smaller for double D. Hence, for large pier, a double D is more economical than a single circular well. Twin circular well aim at combining the advantage of a circular well and of double D, but the only snag is that the two wells sunk close to each other have a tendency to close in or move apart. In abutment and wing wall, where the tilt and shift in position are not important, a battery of smaller diameter well. So here you can see the figure. The following components of well has to be considered in the design of the well foundation: well curb, staining, bottom plug, and well cap. You can see the different figures how the well foundation is constructed. So for the construction of the bridge, for the dam site, for underground water structures. So as we discussed on the caisson are of three types: box caisson, open caisson, and pneumatic caisson. So in case of box caisson, it is open at the top and closed at the bottom, and is made of timber, reinforced concrete or steel. This caisson is built on land, then launched and floated to pier site where it is sunk in position. Such a type of caisson is used where bearing stratum is available at shallow depth and where loads are not heavy. Closed box caisson are used to break water and sea waters. So, before placing the precast launched caisson, a level bearing surface is prepared by drivers. Sand filling is usually done to achieve this. The launched caisson is then sunk by filling it with suitable material, sand or gravel. The top of the caisson is sealed. In case of open caisson, that is well foundation, is a box of timber metal, reinforced concrete, or masonry, which is open both at the top and at the bottom and is used for buildings and bridge foundation. Open caissons are called well. Well foundation form the most common type of deep foundation for bridges in India. However, the consideration for shore or bearing capacity require foundation being taken to a depth of more than 5 to 7 meter. Open excavation becomes costly and uneconomical as heavy timbering has to be provided because of greater earthwork involved due to side slopes. The progress of work in open excavation will be slow. Another disadvantage in adopting the ordinary type of footing is that excavated material refilled around the structure is loose and hence easily soarable as compared to the natural ground. The disadvantages are avoided in well foundation, which is a shell sunk by inside and which finally becomes a part of the permanent structure. So, we discussed on the different components of the well foundation. So here it is provided with well curb or the cut and the cutting edge, staining, bottom plug and well cap. So well curb is designed for supporting the weight of the well with partial support at the bottom of the cutting edge. When only part of cutting edge is in contact with the soil and the remaining portion is only held by skin friction. The 3-point support of cutting edge resting on a log may be assumed for the design purpose. The load coming on the well curve is uncertain as considerable part of it is borne by the skin friction. The well curve has also to withstand stress due to sandballs as well as due to light blasting required when boulder obstruct the sinking of the well. So in case of cutting edge, the cutting edge should have a sharp an angle as practicable for knife into the soil without making it too weak to resist the various stresses including which are induced by the boulder, balls, blasting, etc. An angle to the vertical of 30-degree or slope of one horizontal to two vertical has been found satisfactory. In concrete caisson, the lower portion of the cutting edge is warped with 12 steel plates which are anchored to the concrete by means of steel strap. A sharp vertical edge is generally provided along the outside face of the caisson. Such an edge facilitates the rate of sinking and prevents air leakage in case of pneumatic caisson. Staining. The thickness of the staining is designed in such a way that at all stages the well can be sunk under its own weight as the need for weighting with takes time and retards progress considerably. The following values can be given for this one. The outer diameter of the well is 3 meter. The staining thickness you can provide up to 0.75 meter. So it depends on the thickness. The thickness of the staining is designed in such a way that at all stages the well can be sunk under its own weight, as the need for weighting, that is weighting with which take place and with correct time and retard progress considerably. If the outer diameter is 5 meter, the thickness will be 1.2 meter. If the outer diameter is 7 meter, the staining thickness will be 2 meter. So next one is the bottom plug. The bottom plug of the concrete has to be designed for an upward load enough to the soil pressure minus sulfate of the bottom plug and filling. The bottom plug is made bowl shaped so as to have inverted arch action, as generally underwater concreting has to be done for bottom plug. No reinforcement can be provided. So this is the summary of the today's lecture. Well foundation is constructed by sinking caisson from the surface of either land or water to some desired depth. Well foundation provide a solid and massive foundation for heavy loads and are useful in situation where the load has to be transferred to the soil stratum deep below. Pile foundations are used to transfer the load from the superstructure through weak compressible strata or water onto the stronger, more compact, less compressible and stiffer soil or rock at depth, increasing the effective size of the foundation and resting horizontal load. The pier foundation is a collection of large diameter cylindrical column to support the superstructure and transfer large superimposed load to the firm strata below. So it can also be known as post foundation. These are the reference links provided. You can go through it for the deep foundation. Thank you.